You could say I'm a kind of a control freak when it comes to pickleball paddles, and I own about 50 plus paddles, so I thought it'd be helpful to provide you the best pickleball paddles for control. In addition, if you've watched my videos or read my articles, you will know that I like control over spin and power. In this video, I will provide some great pickleball paddles for control, and then what I look for when I'm looking for a control pickleball paddle that's not on this list. Now, many of these are premium paddles over $100, but the number 5th option for the best control paddle is a budget option that you can find under $50 on Amazon. So I think it provides a lot of strong value. Let's get started. First, I think the Warping Point Grass Control Pickleball Paddle is one of the best paddles for control right now. It's 20 millimeters thick and it's edgeless design. Most of the paddles that I own are between 14 millimeter and 16 millimeter thickness. So I was excited to try a paddle this thick, and the paddle really provide the control that met that promise. Now check out the thickness of this paddle. I had no ideas that how paddles of this thickness could play, and let me say the control in this paddle is unbelievable. I like this paddle so much I wrote an entire review on this paddle. I'll include in the link description. Now my main paddle recently has always been the Joola Hyperion 60 millimeter paddle, but while I've been playing with this paddle, this could make a case for my number 1 paddle. And when I started, I was 5-0 with this paddle, playing against opponents that generally had equivalent or better skill than me. In my most recent 3 games, I only erred once on the serve, and I was able to control the return to deep to my opponent's backhand almost 100% of the time. It's an insanely good paddle if you're looking for control. In addition, it has an elongated handle that allows really nice two-handed backhands, and the Warping Point team, super generous, gave a 25% discount code under the term B Pickleballer that you can check out using the link below, and also add a link to Amazon because sometimes people just prefer Amazon every time. So I'll add that as well. But overall, this, in my opinion, is the best control paddle out there and at a great value. And finally, this paddle comes with a nice paddle cover and a beautiful box. So I really appreciate when a paddle comes with a nice unboxing experience, even if it's a premium paddle. Now, let's go through the next paddle, which is the Bread and Butter Fat Boy paddle. The paddle is one of the best paddles for control, and there's so many features about this paddle, the perfect face, the wide paddle size, that just makes this an all-around great paddle. You can get a hint of how good this paddle is when you open the box and you see this thing that says Sweet Control, and that paddle has a huge sweet spot, and it seriously does. From my Bread and Butter review article, here's what I put about the control capabilities of this paddle. When I noticed right off the bat when opening the box was that it says wide paddle, Sweet Control, so I already had expectations that this was gonna be a control paddle, and it lived up to the expectation. I felt that I was able to place the ball precisely where I wanted, and I made many less unforced errors. And since I play a lot of singles pickleball, it's crucial for me to play with a paddle that allow me to play the entire court by myself. And I feel like the Fat Boy did that tremendously. The Bread and Butter team is awesome. It's a really cool brand. And also this one, you can get another discount using the code B Pickleballer for another discount on this paddle. Next, I want to talk about a paddle that is truly incredible. It's the Volair Mach 2 Forza pickleball paddle. And it's been quickly becoming one of my top paddles that I play with on a weekly basis. Not only does it have amazing control, it also has spin. And in my article, I showed you just how good this paddle has it. I felt that this paddle not only gave me spin, but also a lot of control, and that combination was really cool on the court. I had a lot less unforced errors, and as I play singles, control is a huge factor for me. I felt like I could get my dinks. I felt like I could get my drops. And I felt like on the returns, I could get it deep into the backhand of my opponent almost every time. And thanks to this paddle and the team behind this paddle. Also, you can get this paddle for a discount using the code BPickleballer. Before I cover one of my favorite paddles of all time, I'd love to have a slight request, which is to subscribe or like this video if you're getting any benefit from it. It's always encouraging to me, and I am always looking to create new content to help you become a pickleballer. Also, comment as well if you have any questions about any of these paddles, because I own like 50 paddles, so I always am trying to share as much knowledge to you as possible. Okay, so next let's talk about the Hyperion Ben John CFS 16mm paddle. I would say that this paddle has the best combination of control, spin, and power of any of my paddles. In addition, you know this paddle is good when Ben Johns used to play with his paddle until he switched to a newer model. I have tried out the newer model that Ben Johns plays with, and honestly, I like this paddle over the newer model, and it's also cheaper. I've tested so many paddles, and I often come back to this paddle because of the solid control that I have on the court, and often this paddle is under $175 on Amazon. There's no coupon, but I did include a link in the description below if you want to check it out. Next, let's talk about the best budget control paddle out there. I know I promised I'd talk about it. It's the Dr. Pickleball Surgical Control Paddle. I've been writing and doing a lot of videos on this paddle because I just really think it has great playability, and I found it on Amazon for under $50. Now, I'm still undefeated with this paddle, and I feel like the 20mm thickness gives me a lot of control on the court, and best of all, I helped develop this paddle, so I know exactly what went into it. In addition, this paddle has a T700 carbon fiber surface and enough grit to control the ball and place it where you want the ball to go. As I've been practicing drops and dinks lately, I have felt that this paddle can provide the exact control that I need to win points that I previously was not able to win. And best of all, it's under $50, so it's generally not gonna break your budget. Next, I wanna talk about the Vatic Pro Prism Flash 16mm. This paddle has a lot of spin, power, and control. And I wrote an article covering all the different things. I own 2 of these paddles, and I tend to opt for the 16mm because I think it has that thicker core that allows me to absorb the contact on the ball and give me more control. The sweet spot on the Vatic Pro Prism Flash is also really nice. And I think that for under $100, it gives you what you need when you need it. And this paddle you can get under $90 if you use the code BPickleballer. Again, great paddle. You'll see tons of reviews online of this paddle, and there's reason why is because it's a great overall paddle for under $100. Finally, number 7 in my list is the Warping Point Accent Control Paddle. Now, we talked about the Warping Point earlier. This is their first version paddle. It has great control, and best of all, you can often get this paddle under $75 when you use the code BPickleballer. That's what I liked about this paddle, is that it was the first paddle that I had that has that spot similar to some of the Selkirk paddles that are really premium paddles. So I thought that I was able to see how this paddle performed, the different technologies that this paddle had. Now, the Warping Point paddle provides a lot of control on your returns. The carbon fiber face is the best pickleball paddle material in my opinion, and I like the weave texture design. I generally play this paddle that has a rim, but I didn't miss it when I was playing with this paddle. And again, now I've been playing a lot more with edgeless design paddles, and they really do meet the criteria that I want for in a great control paddle. Now, finally, let's say you're looking for a control paddle that's not on this list. Here are some of the materials that I would look for in a control paddle. First, I like paddle surface material. Carbon fiber, in my opinion, is the best pickleball paddle material, as it provides excellent touch and a softer touch, so you can control those dinks, drop shots, and resets. If you don't want to go carbon fiber, you may look at graphite. I've never played well with fiberglass paddles, so I would say carbon fiber or graphite, maybe fiberglass if it's a really high quality fiberglass paddle. Second, I'm looking for textured surface. Similar to the best pickleball paddles for spin, you may be looking for textured surface that allows you to connect with that ball better. You may also look for anti-vibration feature technology that minimize vibrations to enhance control. Another thing I look for is paddle shape. Consider potentially a wide body shape. These paddles often provide the most forgiveness on off-center hits, which is great for someone that wants consistent placement. I don't have all of my paddles that are controlled in that way, but the wide paddle shape also provides a larger sweet spot that gives you that consistency. You saw that with the Volair Mach 2 Forza and the Fat Boy. The next thing I look for in a control paddle is that core material. For control, I'm looking for paddles that have a little bit larger thickness, right? So that's why I really like those 20mm thickness. It dampens the vibration and provides a more stable hitting surface, improving the control for a precise placement. Let's talk about weight. For a control paddle, you may also look for a lightweight to middleweight paddle in that 7.5 to 8.5 ounces. A lighter weight paddle might be easier to maneuver for quick net exchange and controlled dinking. That said, you may see less power. For a middleweight paddle, you will see a great balance between that maneuverability and control, which is ideal for accurate shot placement. I want to conclude by saying if you can control where the ball lands, you can move up the ranks quickly. It's the inconsistency of your play that can really hurt your game. So hopefully one of these best pickleball paddles for control can really help you increase the consistency of your game to improve over and over again to help you become a pickleballer. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe and like if this has been helpful, and comment below if you have any questions or feedback. Thanks again for watching.